Who beats Canelo? Knuckleheads, Canelo Alvarez is coming off a fantastic, dominant performance against Avni Yildirim on Saturday night. And immediately after, we were given a glimpse into the promotional video between Canelo Alvarez and Billy Joe Saunders, his next opponent, who has in his possession the WBO super middleweight title. But that being said, who can beat this guy, right? And so I want us right now to focus specifically on the super middleweight division, 168 pounds, because that is the division that Canelo Alvarez is currently campaigning at and trying to unify. He wants to become the first ever Mexican unified super middleweight champion. I respect him for that, and that's why I'm focusing on guys, 3 guys in particular, that I think will be his toughest competition at super middleweight. Now, do I think these guys will beat Canelo Alvarez? I'm going to tell you guys right off the bat, no. But I'm going to give you who I think are the 3 toughest tests for him at 168. I'm going to start off with the weakest, end off with the strongest. So first and foremost is the IBF champion, Caleb Plant. Listen, Caleb Plant is a tough cookie. He's undefeated, right? And he's looked good in most of his fights. I was a little bit underwhelmed, I'll be honest, in his last performance against Caleb Truax, but he has looked good. He has shown good boxing skills, good defense, good technique, and a little bit of pop in his punches. Not devastating knockout power by any means, but a little bit of pop, especially if you watch that Uzcategui fight. He floored Uzcategui a couple times and looked good in the process. That being said, I think he's the weakest of the 3 remaining threats for Canelo Alvarez at 168 because Caleb Plant, for me, doesn't have enough volume and probably doesn't have enough power either to keep Canelo off of him. I think Canelo will continue to walk him down. Caleb Plant will fight back valiantly, use his defense, but at the end, I think he would be subdued by the aggressive, intelligent, powerful Canelo Alvarez. Number 2, the guy we mentioned yesterday, Billy Joe Saunders. A slick southpaw with a heart and balls of steel. I think Billy Joe Saunders on May 8th is going to give Canelo a fight. Again, do I think he beats him? No, but he definitely has the technique and the ability and the physical gifts to do it. That being said, he does have 30 fights, but Canelo has almost 60 fights. And do I think that all those fights have added to Canelo's odometer to the point where he's not going to be able to perform at his best? I don't. It's a possibility, but I don't. I think Canelo right now is red hot. He's got the momentum. He's been more active. And I do think his body punching, and his defense and his intelligent aggression is going to be just a bit too much for Billy Joe Saunders. I do believe that fight is probably going to end in a decision for Canelo Alvarez. Finally, the guy I think will be the toughest fight for Canelo Alvarez, a guy who could potentially be the torch bearer for Canelo Alvarez once he rides off into the sunset, is David Benavidez. That's right, the 6 foot 1.5 inch with a 77-inch reach, 24-year-old David Benavidez is a guy who's shown that not only can he fight his ass off, but he throws beautiful combinations, punches and bunches, and he's got big power. Not only is he quick, not only is he throwing punches and bunches, but he's got big power. And this is a kid at just 24 years of age that has a lot of time to improve. That being said, there's a little bit of asterisk. There's a small asterisk next to the name of David Benavidez because, as you all know, he was stripped of the WBC title when he couldn't make the 168-pound limit the last time out. It remains to be seen if this guy is going to be a constant threat at the 168-pound division and if he'll even get a shot at Canelo because, again, it looks like Canelo's focus is on 168. Perhaps David Benavidez goes up to 175 pounds. So those are my 3 remaining threats at 168 pounds. Now, because I just brought up 175 pounds, I do think, again, if Benavidez is up there, he's a threat. Beterbiev is a threat, and Bivol is a threat. But I think it may be asking a bit too much, if I'm being honest, of Canelo to go up to 175 pounds and fight those guys up there. I mean, there's already a size difference at super middleweight, and I think we're getting carried away as fickle boxing fans expecting him to go up there. Also, you've got Jermall Charlo, a guy who I think is very talented at 160 pounds, and Triple G. For me, at this juncture, Jermall Charlo is probably a bit more of a threat than Triple G. Look, I think Triple G has aged a little bit. I don't think he's the Triple G that fought Canelo the first time. I don't even think he's Triple G that fought Canelo the second time. I think if he goes in there against Canelo the third time, there's a good chance he might get stopped in that fight. And as far as Jermall Charlo goes, I thought he looked really good in his last fight. I think the kid is very talented. But at the end of the day, I don't think he's ripe enough yet. I think he needs a few more fights before he can go in there and really beat a Canelo Alvarez. Do I think he'd give him a good fight right now? Sure. I respect Jermall Charlo, and I think he's a very tough kid at 160 pounds. But if he moved up to 168, you don't want the welcoming committee in that division to be Canelo Alvarez. He's going to want to take a couple fights, acclimate himself to that division, and then go for it, unless him and Canelo decide to meet at 160 or somewhere in the middle. And I want to say, I don't think Canelo Alvarez is probably going to drop all the way to 160 again. But who knows? Knuckleheads, tell me who you think can beat Canelo in the comment section below. Write it down. Hit the like button as soon as you finish doing that. Then be sure to smash that subscribe button. Uppercut the hell out that subscribe button and the bell notification icon next to it. Join Knucklehead Nation. The way you can officially join Knucklehead Nation is you hit the join button, and for just $5 a month, you help me build this channel as well as the only kickboxing promotion that matters. And this is the most educated fight channel on YouTube, so I appreciate you guys being here. Hope you join. I look forward to hearing what you guys have to say.